So I went to my aunt and uncle's house not too long ago, and I basically learned how to budget for the first time in my life. The funny thing is, I always knew how to budget, but this time was different. It was like someone's going to hold me accountable to my actions, and I'm going to really want to change. So I just thought that I put 5 ways that you could actually save some money that helps me to this day and can help anybody because it's just practical, if I'm being honest. So we're just going to get straight to it with number one. Write down all of your expenses on a piece of paper. The reason you want to do that is so that you can actually see with your own eyes how much money you spend. And be honest. Don't, you know, take off the Uber Eats, don't take off anything. Like, write literally everything. Don't just put your bills down, but put what you actually spend your money on. Because when I did it, I found out that I was spending more in a 40-hour work week. I was spending more than what I made in a 40-hour work week. And there were many weeks where I only worked 40 hours. So I found out I was spending more and I was always broke. And I wondered why. I found out why. That's what you got to do. Sometimes you got to physically itemize and write everything down just so that you know what's actually going in and out of your pocket. Because if you don't know what's at least that much in the bare minimum, then you're already lost. But that leads into number two. Cancel subscriptions that you don't use. And I mean things that you don't actually use. If you have YouTube Premium because you don't like ads, okay, that's okay. You use YouTube more often, like every day, like a normal person. But there are certain things like Facebook ads, like when you see these health items on Facebook, like, oh, hydro water bottles, or oh, mushroom coffee, or mud water. I'm one of the people who bought mud water. It's not terrible. It's just I don't use it that much. And it was $55, but the thing is, it was a subscription, so it would be coming out of my bank account every month, $55 every month. And I didn't even finish the first thing, and I got two more. Now I think I have four now, and so that means I spent 55 times four. That's $220 that I will never need. I didn't need. I could have that in my pocket, and I don't. So if you got YouTube Premium, you use these subscriptions, okay, sure thing, go for it. But if you have a subscription that's just in the background and you don't even use it, you just have money being spent in your name, nah, dude, go out of your way, look for it, and cancel it. Now, that goes into number three. Not really, but number three. Now, buy your own groceries and cook your own food. I can't stress enough how much this makes sense. Because this is the thing, guys. I buy snacks. I buy food. I buy both. But Uber Eats it was my guilty pleasure for a long time. I couldn't afford that guilty pleasure because the thing is, it's like $20 to $30 for one meal on Uber Eats. That's ridiculous. You should never pay that much for one meal ever. Like, unless even if you're at a restaurant, you could easily spend like $20 and get like a entree and a dessert. You know what I mean? And a drink. But in Uber Eats, dude, you could spend $30 on just an entree, and it's not even funny. So what I mean by go into the grocery store, buy the regular food you want to eat, the meal, and if you don't expect yourself to be like, what's the word? I'm not going to say responsible, but if you don't expect yourself to be adamant enough to actually just not eat dessert, buy desserts in your grocery stores. Literally, it costs so much less than making that mistake later on. Because I'm the kind of guy who's going to be buying his muffins, I'm buying, if I eat ground beef, then I'm going to get that. I'm going to get the onion. I'm going to get all the veggies and the cheese and the barbecue sauce. And I'm going to get that. And I'm going to make my burgers. And then on the side of that, I'm going to have my desserts, which is usually some kind of muffin, like, cinnamon muffins and stuff. And it's like, I'm not gonna lie, I get the super expensive one. It's like $10. It's stupid, kind of ridiculous, but it sure in the heck beats spending $20 for a muffin or an ice cream cone on Uber Eats just because you only wanted to buy the one thing, and then they charge you for buying only one small purchase. They charge you for making a small purchase, which is so ridiculous, but that is the way that you do it. Go to the grocery store and actually buy everything and then cook it. Meal prep. You don't even necessarily have to meal prep. You could cook it every day before work if you have good time manipulation. I'm over here sounding like this is a superpower. Time, I don't know how else to explain it right now. The words literally escape me. So with that being said, that goes into number three. That was number three. This goes into number four, kind of hand in hand. Hang out at home with friends instead of going to a restaurant. Like, have a potluck. You know what I'm saying? Some of my church friends do this, and it's like once a month that they do this kind of thing. They'll have like their groups, and you talk to each other. But like before you even split up and talk to each other, you actually eat. Like they'll make like chili, they make spaghetti. They'll have dessert. They'll have cookies. They literally, it's like a potluck. People bring stuff, and some people cook stuff, and it's great. And they hang out at the crib. They don't have to go out to eat. And the funny thing is that potluck is so much cheaper than actually going out of your way to go meet up at a restaurant and then go back home. Because you could go to use your gas to get to a restaurant, that's money. Buy your food at the restaurant, it's an upcharge, and then drive back home, and then that's another gas price, right? That's a lot more money than if you were to have a potluck at home and hang out and have a good time in the comfort of your own home. So, I'm not saying you shouldn't go to a restaurant, but it does definitely save money to actually hang out with the crew at the crib and eat there instead of eating out and then going right back to the crib to hang out some more. You know what I mean? Or ordering online and doing this and that and the other. I know back then when I used to live in my previous apartment, this was years ago, but I used to have everybody come over and then I just start making burgers. Like I'd have like a 20-pound thing of chuck beef in the fridge, and then I'd just have my bread and cheese, barbecue sauce. And then we didn't put veggies on it back then. It's so funny. I was just that person. But I would just cook everybody burgers, and I'm like, everybody gets 2 burgers, let's go. You know, it was just a fun thing. And I did it all. I paid for it all. And I say that just to say that I just loved hanging out with my friends, and that's what I did. Because that's what my dad did. You know, he would invite people over, he would cook for them, and then we would all have a great time. And that's what I did, and I enjoyed every second of it. I wouldn't take that time back for the world. My friends remember me for that stuff, and they view, like, one of my homies, he's gone out of the state, and he'll come back, and he'll be like, yo, Terrence, start cooking some burgers, bro. And I was like, okay. It's like funny. I don't really mean okay, I'm gonna do it. It's just funny because back then that's what I did. Now, would I do it again? Sure, why not? But the crew doesn't get back together like that, man. Like, it's everybody's busy, so that's the unfortunate part. But let's go straight to number 5, guys. Take up a free hobby, right? And the reason I say that is you need to cure your boredom, because some people really do only eat when they're bored. And if you're bored and you eat because of boredom, then you're more than likely going to purchase some stuff on Uber Eats or DoorDash or Grubhub or a pizza. You're going to do something that you really weren't trying to do anyway, and you're going to spend that money because it's what's $20. When it gets to $30, you start questioning it more. But honestly, even $10 should be questioned. But $20 is a lot. So to cure your boredom, you should take up a free hobby, bro. So I'm not gonna lie, if you want to be a reader, you can look up PDFs of entire books, and you can get it for free. Just Google it. That's all I'll say about that. If you want to learn some Spanish, get on YouTube, get on Duolingo. Or if you want to, work out, then go ahead and, just start, do some push-ups right now. Give me 50, like for real. You just got to do things like that, because boredom is the reason that we get into financial mistakes at times. And I don't make the rules. It just happens like that. So if you're bored, and like sometimes, dude, I've played the game for so long that I'm literally bored of playing the game. And then I'll try to watch some anime or something, and I'll be like, I don't even feel like doing this without my food. And I don't have food, so I end up ordering something just to enjoy myself. And then there'll be times where I don't even care so much for the food. I just want to feel drunk, and then I'll drink. And then after I'm drunk, I'm like, food would be good right now with this TV show. And I do all of them. And then I went out and got a drink. Then I ordered food, and now I'm just wasting away with a big stomach and less money in my pocket, and that's not okay. Now, I haven't done that in quite a while, because that is really a deadly combo. It's not good for you at all. Like, it's just not. Is it fun? Sure, but ultimately, it's not good for you. So I did stop doing that a good while ago, to be honest, and I'm happy about it. But yeah, guys, like, that's really it, actually. So I just wanted to give you guys some of the tools that I'm, the thought processes that I'm using in order to save money. And sometimes, I guess you could call this a bonus. You just got to get used to being bored. You just have to like understand that life isn't full of happiness and sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes it's a mixture of everything. So there's happiness, there's sadness, there's boredom, and there's work. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to get that work done, and you have to just suffer whatever you have to suffer through to get it done, and that's just all there is to it. We are never promised happiness. We are never promised like fruitfulness, unless like like you follow the Christian way, and even then you're only promised like happiness if you did the right thing in your life and you die and go to heaven. So with that being said, on our human life, our human existence, we are not really promised all these great emotions and all these happy times. You should really just count yourself lucky if you have those in the first place, because that's actually an irregularity. So with that being said, that is the video, and sometimes you just got to get through the grit and get that done. Well, I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you very much, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.